handful of guys that will be invited to the NBA Draft Combine starting tomorrow. And I asked one of them, I said, how do you they can just take a deep breath and get those good numbers? But he said the drills are a good indicator of athletic capabilities, but some of the guys that aren't as athletic or as gifted in that way that
didn't see a lot of passing early in the game. You saw a lot of one-on-one basketball. It was obviously very sloppy with his, excessive turnovers from both teams. So be interesting to see how
around and out. Rebound going to Taron Armstrong. Miller running the floor, able to convert. Let's go down to Gianna. Get more on Emmanuel Miller. Taron Armstrong lining up the three-point shot, and that's got to feel good. 23 in black.
And if there was anybody we thought was the best player of the day yesterday, it was obviously Lee with how he played.
And how about Armstrong 2 in a row?
Yeah.
Pass inside, Carlson not able to control it. Almost winds up with a turnover, but he gets it back. There you go. Gets the lay-in to fall here in the opening half. Walter Clayton Jr. shot blocked by Tomlin. Might have been a goaltend. They say play on.
Yeah, I think that was a goaltend, quite honestly. But, try to force a shot up. Just a lot of inconsistencies and not getting a lot done offensively.
Team Black just casting up three-point shots. Caleb Love missing on the three-point attempt. Here comes Team Black. The step-through move in transition is no good, but Naquan Tomlin on the spot with the follow jam.
And one of those guys is Terry Darlin. Terry Darlin, he wasn't as vocal on Team Ignite this year in the G League, and I talked to a scout who said they saw a difference asking about him, and so there's still some football interest. So, basketball doesn't work out. He may be able to find a roster in a different sport.
Isaac Jones trying to rip the rim off its support right there. A very powerful dunk. And the previous possession, as we see a three-point shot. And previously, he had been in the G League Ignite program. He's only 19 years old, so again, his best basketball is ahead of him.
Also, 4 assists, but he played a lot of defense. Did an excellent job of getting deflections and ended up with 4 steals as well.
Sean East, we mentioned his prolific three-point
30%, so that's a pretty solid number. Now, obviously not against any defense, but one thing we talk about with these bigs, they got to prove they can be a threat.
I was going to mention that the NBA scouts and executives got a chance to vote on the players that they wanted to see the most at the NBA Combine, which gets going tomorrow. Nice drop.
Just the 3. That time he does a nice job of getting himself down the floor and getting open.
Wooga Poplar hits the three-point. Oh, and Boogie Ellis one-on-one. Kicks it back to Poplar, who shoots it from just inside the three-point line and gets it. He was the American East Player of the Year. Miller showing some nice athletic ability.
They really didn't know what he was going to do with it. Excellent job of finishing that. Tumbling to the floor.
Walter Clayton is hot from three-point range.
Yesterday, and we'll talk about his numbers again. 14 points, 6 rebounds, 3 offensive, 6 of 11 from the field, 2 of 3 from the free throw line. Today's, I wrote down, I was curious how much he's going to play in this situation.
They loop the ball inside to Carlson. The big man hits from 10 feet. White trying to mount a comeback here, down by 18. We've reached the halfway point of the second half. The final game here at the NBA G League Elite Camp. Rupstavicius hits the 3. The native of Lithuania gets it.
Sorry, up 20 was your biggest lead. And now you've been able to cut that down to 14.
Offensive rebounding leads to another bucket.
So it's interesting.
Nice pass. Tomlin able to convert.
Nice job of just kind of white team pressing full court. Now this is a time when they're starting to show a little desperation. Let's see what, and there we go.
Beautiful pick and roll there. Nice drop feed.
And then was able to rise up and knock it down.
Actually, he did not play a lot in yesterday's game. He's had 8
Is nobody guarding that guy?
No, the NBA G League Elite Camp. Steal. There's my guy.
Wooga had some dance moves till he finally was able to get the shot off.
Right on cue. We're talking about him, and
he's in Denver.
Wooga.
And you laid a huge egg in game 3.
Oh, yeah.
So 2-0 and win both games. Now you're back to where even Steven, as Jerry Seinfeld likes to say.
All right, we got an early start here. The tip-off happened Team 2 is in black. They're coached by Kevin Burleson, Sagana Jop, Ano Medela, and Chris Lofton. So here we see nice drive going to the hoop there by Baba Miller, and he's able to get the tip in to go. Baba Miller showed
a handful of guys that will be invited to the NBA Draft Combine starting tomorrow. And I asked one of them, I said, how do you...
numerous seasons in college, right? So they kind of have an idea or perception of who these players are. But within those last 2 months, well, from 3 yesterday, so I'm interested to see if somebody stands out, somebody knocks down numerous threes that maybe didn't necessarily shoot the ball very well from the three-point line in college, because that's kind of the route that the game has gone. The three-pointer has become so important, at the NBA.
For the Olympics, the star of that was Carleek Jones, who was the G League MVP a couple of years ago, who's now playing overseas, and that program has been partially funded and run by...
They can just take a deep breath and get those good numbers, but he said the drills are a good indicator of athletic capabilities, but some of the guys that aren't as athletic or as gifted in that way that...
Now, I'm curious, as far as what you're attempting to do as a player, nicely done there by taking it to the hoop, is how do you, as you just mentioned, this is 1988. I was in, I think all the players back then, we all stayed at the Sheridan, and you didn't get your own room as a player. My parents went, so I actually was sharing a room with my mom and dad because it was being paid for by the NBA, which wasn't quite as existed
back then. Was the CBA there at that point?
Yeah, but
the guys weren't playing that were drafted.
There wasn't the affiliation between the two leagues back then. It's just, it was different. I got a lot of work in with
this 2-day NBA G League Elite Camp. He's not going to go back to Villanova. He's going to try to start his professional career no matter where that may lead him. Colorado State running the action for Team Black. Shot clock at 6, so if we get something going here. Freeman will try the corner 3 off the front iron. Nice offensive rebound and put back inside. The guy we were talking about, Blake Hinson.
That's where, when you find yourself getting out of control, it's okay to give up the basketball.
Gianni, you've got more on Sané.
Babacar Sané is someone that...
aspects that, viewers won't see today, but also all these guys had individual interviews with teams and general managers and scouts yesterday. That diamond in the rough that they can get. Maybe it's not somebody that gets drafted, but he's somebody that signs a contract and comes in for training camp.
Long jumper good there by Blake Hinson, and I know that this guy really young, really raw, and I'm sure this is his first taste of trying to play in front of these high-level NBA scouts and executives. And he'll learn well for it. That time he gets called for a foul on the big dunk inside by Keon Brooks. And here comes Team Black.
So that's Blake also his recognition, Mark, of, I understand he was open.
Attacking the rim, thought he got fouled, but just lost the ball. In the previous possession, he showed off some ball angle, did it, setting up Enrique Freeman for the dunk. As Armstrong takes it all the way to the rim.
I always talk about this even with, college, high school. Guys want to use the old finger roll over the front of the rim.
Use the board, right?
You put it on the glass. I know it's not.
So Team White will inbound. Adama Ball doing the honors. Judah Mintz trying to get them organized in this half-court set going up against
outstanding
Jr. Beautiful drop feed. And the dunk by Matthew Morrell.
But even though he's nothing flashy, he just did a little bit of everything, 12.7 rebounds, but also, went to the free throw line yesterday, knocked down 6 out of 7 free throws.
Yeah, Freeman at 6'7", maybe a little bit undersized as a power forward, one of those tweener guys, but he does some good work in the paint. He had a smaller defender on him, he just went right over the top. That spins out, another rebound for Freeman as he continues to pile up the stats. Malik Lewis running the court, rewarded with a dunk.
Nice job by Malik. He was down amongst those guys trying.
Rebound going to Ugana Denso, the 7-footer out of Kentucky.
Pace really picking up here as guys trying to make something happen.
Blake Hinson, he's made something happen throughout the game as he gets the shot to go and a foul. 11 points now for Hinson to go with 4 rebounds.
He's been really
active. He said, I'm really good at those claw game machines that whenever you go to a pizza place or something like that, he said, my efficiency in getting something out of those machines is beyond good.
It was 14 minutes, 0 of 4 from the 3, 0 of 4 from the field, 0 of 3 from behind the arc.
Yeah, it's been kind of a forgettable afternoon for him. Nice follow-up jam. Blake Hinson again. He's been the standout. He's been all over the place.
Teams like to see the speed at which he travels from one end to the next, controlling the basketball.
Sine, showtime! How about a little windmill in the final minute of game 1 here at Wintrust Arena? That was nice. Get one more foul or if they'll let him dribble it out. Another chance.
Oh, do it again.
He's kind of bucket hanging there, getting a chance.